Hello, very good afternoon, Karishma.
Very good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking me. How has your day been so far?
It was okay, not that great.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it's a Monday.
No, today is Monday. I thought it's
Yes.
Tuesday. I don't know why.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you seem to be already a day ahead or in the week.
I don't know why. Okay, actually, today my son is at home, the older one. He
Okay.
has been sick for
Hmm.
quite some days now.
Oh
So
no.
for that
So
reason, he's
sorry to
not
hear that. Hmm.
yeah, not going school. So it's little
Hmm.
hectic now. He's fine, but we're
Hmm.
not sending
Hmm.
him to school just to make sure
Hmm.
whether he'll be like absolutely fine. Then only I'll be sending him to school. So
Hmm.
now the whole day is like full musty, noise, fun, and so it's not that
Right.
productive. I can say that.
Okay. So I think most of your time must be spent in taking care of him while he's at home,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. So what exactly happened to him?
He has some digestion problems, I feel, and
Okay.
because of which he got fever.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
Hmm.
when we consult with the doctor, he said like just give
Consulted,
him.
past tense. Consulted.
Okay, so when we consulted to the doctor, he suggested
Right.
that he has to take rest for a few days and then he'll be fine. No need to
Hmm.
worry.
Hmm.
Personally, I feel that there is some issue with his digestion, or maybe he has some liver problem. I don't know why, because
Hmm.
he doesn't feel hungry. I feel that all
Hmm.
the time I'm just feeding her like forcefully. He was not
Hmm.
eating himself like with a lot of interest, like other child
Hmm.
eats. So
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe let let him get better, and then I'll get some blood
Hmm.
tests done, and then I'll see what
Hmm.
is the actual problem.
Hmm. Yes, gut issues can be quite tricky, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes there could be some form of inflammation or
Mhm.
some form of allergy, indigestion,
Mhm.
right? And it creates a lot of discomfort for
Mhm.
them, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
automatically they would start feeling extremely weak, and
Weak, yeah. He was feeling
they
weak
would,
from last a few days.
yes, right. With us itself, it becomes very tricky for children. They tend to be a bit more sensitive towards the
Mhm.
food that they have, right?
Though
Yes.
he is not eating
Mm,
junk and all, he
mm,
doesn't eat junk, but still, I don't know, like from the beginning, when like since he was
mm,
born, I have
mm,
seen this pattern of not eating food since very
mm,
young age, like from like 2 years
mm,
old when he was two. I have
mm,
noticed that he's not eating
mm,
that well, like other kids I have seen
mm,
eating.
mm.
So
Right.
maybe there is some issue, maybe something genetic, because my husband is
Mm.
also like the same. He doesn't eat
Oh,
much. Like
oh, okay.
he could
Mm,
maximum eat three chapatis at a time. Like being
mm,
adult, I feel that four or five I have seen people eat.
mm,
So
mm,
as compared to them, I feel that his diet is also very low.
right. Yes. Sometimes I think a lot of us tend to have this issue, but let's
Mhm.
hope eventually your son feels
Mhm.
better and he recovers soon. Right. Otherwise, how are things at your end? How is your vlogging and creating content going on?
It's going well. That's well. That is the only
Uh,
thing which keeps keep me engaging throughout the day,
mm,
because
mm,
I need to think every time like there is something goes in my mind, like what to
mm,
create, what to
mm,
speak, what kind of things
mm,
I need to cover, and all. So this is how I keep myself busy.
Yes, absolutely. And I think when you start doing something for yourself, automatically it makes you feel better, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Wonderful. I hope you got a chance to go through the topic that has been assigned for
Yes.
today. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
An
Yes.
interesting topic, and I'm sure it will lead us to some interesting discussions and conversations,
Sure.
right?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, you're okay with the topic, right? So,
Yeah.
shall we go ahead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, have you ever had a thought of settling outside, or especially when you would have been young, right? When during your childhood days, or when you were a teenager, was there an idea or a thought that, oh, maybe I would want to settle outside my country?
I had never thought of
Mm.
settling in other country, not
Mm-hmm.
even my young age,
Mm.
not even now. I'm very much satisfied with the place where I'm living in, and India is one of my favorite country. I don't want to settle anywhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right, right. So, what makes you feel so grounded that you want to stay here itself?
First thing you can say this, say that attachments, because it's been more than 30 years that I have
Mm.
been
Mm.
staying in the same country, and
Mm.
you already feel attached when you start living at one
Mm.
place. For example, if you will ask your parents to sell out your home and just say shift to
Mm.
another city, not even the
Mm.
country. If you
Mm.
will ask them to move another city, they will directly tell you, no, we don't want to sell this. After
Mm.
we die you can do anything, but we are not going to sell it. We have some
Mm.
memories attached to this house, so every
Mm.
person is really feel emotional when it comes to living about the
Mm.
place where you have born or you birth. So
Mm.
the same with me, I'm really attached with this. Second thing is that India has, like in the constitution, we get so many liberties which are
Mm.
not in other countries as compared to in
Mm.
India. It's a democratic country, you already know that. So
Mm.
because of which I don't want to leave this country, because it might be difficult to follow the other country's rule,
Mm.
because you are already habitual of living in such kind of environment where you
Mm.
can speak, you have freedom to speak, you have freedom to do whatever you want to do actually. So
Right.
these things are very difficult. And third is food, as I think I have already discussed with you that I'm a kind of foodie person. So
Mm.
I cannot live without food,
Mm.
Indian food especially.
Mm.
And these are the three major reason I feel that I cannot
Mm.
shift to any other country.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. Because if, like you rightly said, if we have been told or we suggest our parents to move out of their comfort zone, and if they have to suddenly adapt to a new place with new rules and new
Yes.
regulations, it becomes extremely difficult.
Yes.
So, and of course, I completely agree. Being a foodie, we would want to step out every now and then and try out our favorite delicacies, right? And we,
Yes.
and if we don't have access to our favorite food, we feel it becomes difficult to
I
stay
feel
happy.
irritated. I literally feel irritated. I don't want to do anything until I get my favorite food. For example, if I'll start having cravings for something,
Mm.
I just keep thinking about the food only until I get it. I'm
I
so
agree with
foodie.
you. I agree with you because lately I have been that way.
Okay.
I think over the years I developed a lot of interest for food, especially
Okay.
after I started cooking. So I can completely agree with you on that part where
Mm.
we keep thinking about our
Yes.
favorite food, right?
Mm.
Great. But why do you think so many Indians are moving abroad or they're deciding to move out of this country and settle down outside? Why do you think so?
The only reason is money. What I feel is that, but
Hmm.
sometimes I have seen that the people who are not even satisfied, actually that is why it is told that you have to be satisfied what you have. But
Hmm.
there are people who never feel satisfied no matter how much money they have. They just
Hmm.
want to make more money and more money, and for that reason I think they move to abroad. And
Mm-hmm.
you might have seen the recent news about the people
Right.
which
Yes.
usually sent to
Yes.
um,
Hmm.
so why people do that? If they did
Hmm.
not get the chance to move there legally, they
Hmm.
should not
Hmm.
adopt it different ways.
Hmm.
So I think it is not really a great idea, because the place where are you living, you're already getting your essentials, necessities are
Hmm.
already there. So why you need to move another country? The
Hmm.
only reason I feel is that first is
Hmm.
earn money, and
Hmm.
as I feel that there are people who just want to feel
Hmm.
happy when they show off. So I think those are the
Hmm.
few people which really want to move abroad, earn money, and be rich and rich. I don't
Hmm.
think that there can be another reason.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. But do you think some people could be opting so that they feel they'll get more exposure in terms of their career or the kind of jobs that they would be opting for?
But you see, if person has some kind of talent, they can
mm,
explore those opportunities here in India as well. It is totally
mm,
depends person to person. It's
mm,
totally their choice, people's
mm,
choice, that what they want to do with their life. But
mm,
ultimately, if you want to explore, you can create opportunities in India as well. And
mm,
it's just an excuse that you want to
mm,
get
mm,
exposure, and that is
mm,
ultimately connected with the money only. Why do you want to do
mm,
that? Because if
mm,
you will get exposure, you will get fame, you will get more money ultimately. And
mm.
that is the final goal of every person, I feel, in this
Okay.
era. Because I know that money is important. You cannot think of surviving without money, but
Mm,
I feel that you should understand the values of our culture, which you're not getting
mm,
in the other country.
mhm,
You might be habitual of celebrating Diwali, Holi, every festival in
mm,
India, but when you are
mm,
not getting the same environment there. However,
mm,
I have few friends from other countries also. They are saying
mm,
like we have few Indian people there, and we create that environment and we celebrate
mm,
everything like the same.
mm,
But I
mm,
don't think that you can get the same way like which we celebrate. Like the whole India is just bursting crackers on
mm,
the day of Diwali. So
mm,
that's not. I don't think that's the
mm,
same exactly like
mm,
similar to media.
mm,
So
mm,
it is ultimately money, I feel.
mm. Okay. So you feel money is the motive, the ultimate motive
The
for
final goal,
a
yeah.
lot of people to be moving abroad. Okay.
Yes.
But now that you told me that you have a lot of friends who have moved abroad and they might have settled down there or they have been living there
Yes.
from a very long time. So, what are
Yes.
the things that you keep hearing from them? Do they share with you what they miss about India,
Uh,
or what are the things that they generally mention
yeah,
to you?
one thing I have heard from one of my friends, she was
Mm,
telling me one day that the medical facilities are not good here. And
mhm,
whenever anybody sick in my family, I start missing India because we can go and buy count over the shop medicine.
mhm,
And but we cannot get here. We need a proper
mhm.
prescription. It take a lot of
Right.
time to get the medication in foreign countries. So I feel that is the main necessity for every person in
Mm,
order to survive, right? And if
mm,
that is not there, so then what is the benefit of moving there? So that is the
mm,
main difficulty. Second is, if I talk about Canada, that's a very place which is very cold.
mm,
Few
mm,
months
mm.
are like extremely cold that you could not
Correct.
even go out of your house and you have to stay inside. And schools are
Mm,
also hampered for few days or months. So that
mm,
is one of the reason she discussed with me,
mm,
that these are the few things which I don't like about these cities.
mm,
But there are other friends, they are
mm,
very much comfortable because they feel
mm,
the ambience of the country is really amazing. People are not
mm,
noisy, people are not rude, people are
mm,
so gentle. So
mm,
that is the thing which she personally likes. And yeah, that is a good thing. And I can understand that that's not there in India. We'll
mhm,
find various kind of people in India, like variety of people with
mm,
different opinion. And
mm.
but in other countries there is a peace, neat, cleanly, how to say this,
Cleanliness,
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 cleanliness. Okay, so
cleanliness.
that is one
Yes.
of the reason. There are few people who don't like to live in the
Mm,
areas which is not clean as per their
mm,
expectations.
mm,
So for them, I
mm,
think this might
mm,
be one of the reason to move on other countries, because
mm,
you will get the clean environment and
mm,
everything. Yeah.
mm. Right. Fair enough. What do you think sets India apart from all the other countries? If you had to pick one major factor that sets our country apart from other ones.
It's culture. I think
Okay.
that is the main thing
Mm.
which क्या कहेंगे, हमें अलग
Mm.
करती है दूसरे कंट्री से. हाउ टू से
It
इट, देयर इज अ
sets
वर्ड.
us it sets us different, you can say.
It sets
It
us
sets us
different. There is a
different
mother
or
word.
makes us unique, right?
Okay.
Sets
Yeah.
us
So our culture
different
is one thing which sets us
different
different, or
from
which
other
make us unique.
countries.
Yeah,
Mm.
from other countries. And people also, the like foreign people also visit India just to
Mm.
witness the beauty of
Mm.
its culture, its heritage. And like Taj Mahal, the one of the
Mm.
wonders that is in India. So like there
Mm.
are many things which attract people, even the foreign
Mm.
tourists, to visit
Mm.
India.
Mm.
Somehow I have heard people saying
Mm.
that it's not that clean, but that's okay.
Mm. Mm.
So culture, I feel, because you will find like every state has a different language, different
Mm.
culture, different
Mm.
food, cuisine.
Mm.
So these are the things which make us unique as compared to the another people. Or I think like in the
Mm,
beginning of my English journey, I used to communicate with foreign
mm,
people. There's an application, so
mm,
they told me that I love Indian food. Like many of them,
mm.
they told me that I love
Yes,
Indian food. I love
yes.
Indian food. It's so
Even though they may
nice
find it
texture.
spicy, even though
Yeah,
they may find it spicy, they have
they,
always appreciated how every dish is rich in its flavor, right?
yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
every dish is completely different, and the way it is prepared is something
Prepared.
fascinates them the most,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
So
it could
that is
be a
two
sweet
things:
dish.
culture and food, I feel.
Mm. Mm. Right. Absolutely. Great. So if you had to recommend one main dish and one sweet dish or dessert to an
Mhm.
NRI or for somebody who might be traveling to India for the first time, which two of those items would you recommend them to try?
Okay. Let's
Mm.
first talk about sweets.
Mm.
One is malai chap, and the second is
Okay.
gajar halwa.
Okay.
I like these two things, so I would ask them to taste. And in food, like there are so many.
Mm.
Um, I cannot stick to one because there's so many
Mm.
like varieties are there. Like South Indian is
Yes.
there, dosa and idli.
Right.
I love
Right.
it because foreign
Yes.
people they feel very much comfortable with the food which is not that spicy or like
Correct.
the simple one and the healthier one. So I think in
Mm.
order to fulfill the protein
Mm.
requirement or like the
Mm.
nutrition requirement, I think dosa or sambar is one of the best food.
Mm.
Apart from like chole chawal, rajma chawal, these are the basic famous
Of
cuisine of
course.
India. Yeah,
Yes,
whole India like
that's true.
them.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true. And that's the best part, right? Every region is so different and unique with its dishes, right?
yes.
And some of the ingredients are used in a very extensive manner in some states of our
States.
country, right?
Yeah,
But if you look at every state of our country, they would have certain ingredients which might be common, but they're used in a very different manner,
different manner. Yeah,
right?
so, right.
Yes, great. Absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to do a small activity where you're going to take a look at an image, and I want you to tell me what is your understanding of that image. Okay,
Which image?
you can head to the second page and you'll see a section with the name. Let's look at an image and try to understand what it
Oh,
is trying to say. Okay, so
okay.
you can take a look at it and tell me what is happening here.
I'm not able to understand, but still I'll try to create something.
You can take few seconds. You can take few seconds. You can closely look at the background, even though it's a bit blurred, but you can take a look at the background. You can look at the expression of the man. What do you think he would be thinking about? Or why
Okay.
does he seem so? And what could be the situation?
Okay. So first
Hmm.
picture is about having fun with the family. Husband and wife and two kids are there, and
Okay,
maybe.
I'll have to pause you here.
Mhm.
Not the set of images which are below, but you have to scroll up, and second page you will see there is one image, a
Okay, okay,
standalone
okay. The
image.
person who's sitting like this.
Yes, that's right. Yes. So this is the image you will be analyzing.
Okay, so that's
Hmm.
simple. The person is upset. He is in deep
Hmm.
thinking. He
Hmm.
might have done something wrong, or maybe he missed his flight, train, or
Hmm.
something. So that's why he's
Hmm.
sitting like this.
Okay. But in context to the topic, can you try to fit in some idea related to it? Apart from the
Yes,
fact that he might be upset and
yeah,
he might be overthinking. Hmm.
he is thinking about family. He is just, feeling
Hmm.
why I could be
Hmm.
here. I should go back to my own country. I'm missing my family a lot. कहाँ फंस गया मैं आके? This is what he's thinking right now.
Right, absolutely. Or it could also be work pressure, right?
Maybe,
Work
maybe.
pressure. Hmm.
Yeah.
Considering he is all suited up and he seems to be traveling, he seems to be at the airport. So it could be work pressure that's making him overthink about his decisions,
Or
right?
he might missed
Hmm.
his flight, maybe.
He might have missed his flight. Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. That could also be a possibility. But generally, when you miss out on a flight, you may not be sitting and seeming to be upset, I think.
Why?
Right?
I feel that if I will move, I would miss a flight, I would be upset. Like, oh my God, what will I
Correct.
do now?
But I think we would be frantically running around, right? By
Yeah.
frantically, what I mean is that you would be feeling restless, you would be worried, anxious, right?
Hmm.
Chances of us sitting and feeling upset are less, right?
Okay, right, 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 right.
Okay, all right. Great. Now you can head to the last set of images
Okay.
and you can understand what is happening by these images because they are quite simple. But after you look at these images, you will have to tell me what happens next. So you can create a short story and tell me what happens. You can be as creative as possible.
Okay, I'll make it in my own
Sure.
imaginary story,
Yes, of
okay?
course. Yes, yes. That's the whole
Okay.
idea here. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So there's a family who lives in India, and
Hmm.
now they are thinking to move. No, not move exactly, but they're
Hmm.
planning to
Hmm.
visit the world.
Hmm.
And the
Hmm.
husband,
Hmm.
he shared this news with his family, and they
Hmm.
all were so happy. They
Hmm.
all are so happy and excited,
They look
and
happy. They seem
they look
happy. You
happy.
can
Okay,
say
they
that.
look happy and excited.
Hmm. Hmm.
And finally, the day has come when they
Hmm.
are in foreign country. The girl is so happy and excited, and they are clicking pictures.
Hmm.
And then they
Okay.
move to some place which is made for kids, maybe some
Hmm. Hmm.
Disneyland or something. And
Correct. Hmm.
kids really happy, and
Hmm.
both of the
Hmm.
girls, they were
Hmm.
enjoy. And
Hmm.
now it's been
Enjoying.
like,
They were enjoying.
okay,
They
they were
were
in.
enjoying. Hmm.
Okay, now this story should be in past, present, future, like because I am seeing the
I'll tell
picture
you.
right now.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So you can consider it to be in the past tense, right?
Okay.
Because this may have already happened in the past. Now, why are we saying were,
Mm-hmm.
um, sorry, what was the word? Were having fun? Were
Mm-hmm.
enjoying, right? Now, you must be wondering were belongs to past tense. So, why would
Mm-hmm.
I say were enjoying? Because in
Mm-hmm.
the case of enjoying, it's ing, which will
Mm-hmm.
automatically make you think that it is used in the present form, right? But this is a rule where you don't include two past tense next to each other. Okay.
Okay.
So, for example, you would say, I used to go to the mall. I used to went to the mall. You are not going to say it,
Yes,
right?
yes, I know.
So, that is
Right.
how you are saying that they were enjoying themselves. You could say that,
Okay. So I'll tell
right?
you the story in past tense only, okay?
Sure. Yes.
So they were
Mm,
enjoying a lot in this adventure park or Disneyland. After
mm,
that, they came back home,
mm,
and the girl was upset. The little girl was upset that now tomorrow they have to go back to India, and she
mm,
doesn't want to go.
mm,
She didn't want to go.
She didn't want to go. That's right. She didn't want to
So
go
she
back.
didn't want to go back,
Mm,
but
mm,
the husband and wife, when they
mm,
check the expenses, like they
mm,
have spent money over, like when they were enjoying, it
mm,
was like a huge bill of rupees 1 lakh. They didn't
mm,
expect this, so they both
mm,
seems to be upset that what
mm,
I should do now. So what
mm,
they do is they took a
mm,
flight back to their
mm,
place and just move to their
mm,
own country. And then
mm,
also they realized that I think they had spent a lot of money which they should
mm,
not. And
mm,
that's it.
Okay, great. This seemed like a tricky test for you.
Yeah, it's tricky for me. Yes.
Right. The main idea of this activity is not just creativity and imagination, but the idea is to see how smoothly you're able to take your ideas and give a form of transition through them. right? So
Hmm.
that's the whole idea about it. And
Hmm.
you can, of course, add as many ideas as you wish, and they can be extremely, different. But the main focus is on how you take your story, or rather, how you narrate it, right?
Hmm.
So,
Right.
one of the aspects which you could have added is you could have focused more on how you narrate the story, right?
Hmm.
If we
Right.
go back in time, during our childhood, we were narrated a lot of stories by our grandparents or by our
Hmm.
parents. And the reason we are still able to recollect them or remember them is the way they might have narrated it to us using
Yes.
non-verbal cues,
No.
right?
Yes.
Like
Right.
voice modulation, facial expressions, and taking our own time to narrate the story, right? So,
Hmm.
this is
Right.
something you could also apply while you're speaking, which you always do while considering the part that you speak with a lot of confidence. You can add a bit more of a personal touch with more of voice modulation, right? With more expressions and gestures. That way, you'll be able to create that impact for your listeners,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, I'll try next time.
Yes, you could do that. Great, wonderful. I have a few phrases to share with you, and I want you to spot the error in them. Okay, so I'll be putting out the first one in the chat box. Okay, here's the first one.
You birth, you born.
Hmm,
You born.
okay. So you don't say you birth, the place where you have taken birth, you would say.
Okay.
Or if you want to make it very simple, your birthplace.
Your
You're going
birthplace.
to say
Yes.
it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay,
Understood.
all right. Next one. Hmm,
Schools also hamper.
hmm.
School.
Mm, okay, fair enough. Considering your children might be going, or your child might be going to one school. Okay.